JC. On today's show, we are going to go ahead and have the dream series, the continuation on that I told you all about. And if you will all remember, I left off on lions. And for those of you who did not see that, be sure and check out Dream Series Part 2, where I am reading, and I will be picking up on today's show actually from October 5th of 2019. Now, there were about 3 dreams that are back here that I did not read, and I will save those for 2024, and that will be titled our Dream Series Part 3. So that will be 2 years away, but that is the scheduling that I do on these Dream Series. They only come around every 2 years. So with that said, I will just go ahead and actually start reading. And right after this dream, we will start the 14-page dream on Korea. And again, I want to reiterate, I'm going to try to read through the 14-page one as quickly as possible. So, and then it will take us all the way into 2021, and we will stop there, and I will be showing our actual painting that we will be doing, and I will give everyone a hint that did not hear this before. Wisteria is just something for everyone to just sort of keep in mind. Okay, and about the wisteria, at the end of the video, everyone be sure and stay tuned. I am going to be showing the canvas and the art template, and I will be showing some of the things that I will be adjusting somewhat differently from the actual painting that I will be doing a tutorial on. And it's going to be absolutely beautiful, this wisteria painting, and I will be showing you all how to paint this painting eventually, not obviously not on today's show, but pretty soon, hopefully, and it will really be fun and very, very colorful. So everyone, stay tuned. We're going to momentarily pause. I'm going to get my glasses, and I'm going to start reading this one dream and then jump right into the 14-page dream that I told you all about. Okay, everyone, we are back now and ready to begin, and I want to make one quick correction before we begin. I told you all that was October the 5th of 2019, and actually I went and looked back on our dream series part 2 of 2022, and that was actually May the 18th of 2020 where we left off. So that is where this dream about Korea privacy reasons. And okay, I woke up this morning remembering some odd dreams I had. It consisted of these military exercises, but out in the ocean area. These military exercises consisted of things like bungee jumping into the water. It looked easy. The first time I done good. The next time I didn't. I just landed straight into the water. Instead, I was supposed to go into the water and come straight out of the water and land on this plank on the shore, kind of like a river area or something. And another part of this dream, they all made us a sandwich to carry with us because it was so strenuous and exhausting on this exercise. If you didn't eat your sandwich halfway through this exercise, you wouldn't have enough energy to finish. This one had something to do with using one area and climbing down and back up on the ship. I remember a ladder specifically in one area. And in another part of the dream, there was this dirty water, I remember, and everyone was having to jump off this ship, and everyone one at a time in this dirty, black-looking sewage water. So I got into the water and thought, well, I am going to have to swim with my left arm because I had these cuts on my right arm. So I held my right arm out of the water so it wouldn't get infected in that dirty water and swam with the left arm all the way to shore. Well, in another part of the dream, the ship was going down this narrow waterway, and the region was around this Vietnam area, and our ship was going down the waterway and made me and these two other girls walk along the banks. I remember thinking our ship doesn't need to be getting that far ahead of us. So I looked to the right across this river and seen some Vietnamese women in great looking uniforms with some kind of red patch on the left or right shoulder. And one was smoking a cigarette at this camp. And she seen us, so I said, quick, get down. But it was too late because some mean Korean Vietnam woman was coming in front of us. This Chinese girl or Vietnamese looking girl that was standing beside me got shot multiple times with a machine gun. I quickly jumped beside this foxhole, and the other girl jumped in the foxhole. So this real mean woman came up behind us and stabbed her with this wooden plank with square shape with these long wooden spikes in it, and rammed it in her all at once. I think it may have killed her, and almost sure that it did. So I remember the spikes had different lengths and thickness. Well, for some reason, she was taken prisoner and carried off to this dark looking warehouse. And I guess I had sneaked in because I could see her tied up with ropes around her feet, and these Korean or Vietnamese women were walking around torturing her. For some reason, they had gotten her medical attention, maybe to get her well so they could torture her and get information out of her. And it seemed like there was other prisoners there. Well, I remember walking in some kind of bar in this Vietnamese area, and I was with the I was covered and wet with that sewage stuff from the water that I just told you all about, and was ready to get a shower. And many military men was sitting at these tables drinking one of these hefty soldiers. He was sitting at this table or booth and was sitting there drinking with a couple of his other friends. And so he looks over at the other booth and sees another soldier that looked kind of Hispanic. He was tan and tall with curly black hair and was skinny. Well, the hefty soldier, apparently he wasn't in the same branch of military, and the Spanish looking one. But at one time, they must have been competitive with each other, because this heavier guy came over to his table and said, "I'm still better than you." Apparently it's something they used to compete at. So anyhow, they started competing again, and I could see them and a few others was watching this competition. They both had to swing and hang on to a rope, and they would hold on to these ropes while they would be knocking out some kind of blocks out of these circle-shaped holes of a ship on the side of it. So finally, the skinny guy said, "Okay, I give up. You are still better than me." Well, so in another part of these dreams, a family member had just came in on this dream for some reason or the other, appeared in my dream, and I was just having to go out and do some of these other military exercises. And he told me he just got 35,000 something dollars, and he was holding a check and he was showing it to me for some reason or the other. And he said, "And that's nothing compared to the other check," or something. And he said, and that was just for a few days. So the last part of the dream, I was watching these again, Korean, Vietnam, or not sure. Well, these men were definitely of Asian descent. Well, they had this train. The front of the train, the engine part, it was on a regular train track and it was small. This engine and the color was like pewter, a dull silver or maybe dull gold. And these Asian men couldn't see me, but I could see them. And they were saying, you see this small train? It's so little, but inside it there is such a powerful nuclear missile that could destroy this whole city. And this Asian man that was saying this was skinny with black hair, and this was just 2 or 3 men alone in a very private, secluded area. They were important businessmen, and I guess a couple may have been Korean, and some were of other Asian descent. And they were in a little circle by these railroad tracks. And it was just them there talking. So back to this, they were talking about this thing and what I just told you. And he said this skinny one with the black hair, and this was just 2 or 3 men alone talking about this at a railroad track or something of the kind in a secluded location. And there was a town off to the right of them, right off the railroad track. So I woke up, and when I did, I just laid remembering all the different parts of this dream. I felt wore out, like all these military exercises was real, like I was really doing this, and it was stuff I'd never seen before. Well, I got up about 10 a.m., I guess. Family member called and said yada yada and said yada yada, and that they were home, and I was like, wow, I just had some dreams, and I actually told them what I had dreamed, and I guess I blew their mind as soon as they got home. But I do want to bring in this of the train, so I just lightly sketched that out. I do not know how well it's actually showing up here. Here we are. Okay. And that is the train, everyone. And we are going to momentarily pause and see how many minutes that we are currently at, and start the second